motorcycle shock bolt snapping, progressive shocks. Now, even though this happened with progressive shocks, this could happen to any set of motorcycle shocks. Now, this is my bike. It's a 2006 American Ironhorse Texas Chopper. And I was riding on the freeway here in San Diego, California, probably doing about 65 miles an hour, when all of a sudden there was a loud pop. And I'm talking about loud, like somebody shot a 45 caliber pistol right next to you. That's how loud it was. It was startling, actually. And the first thing that crossed my mind was that I threw a rod right through the lower end of the engine. Because I was over in the left-hand lane, there was a couple of cars right behind me and also to the side. Took a little while to pull over. While that was happening, getting over to the right side, there was a horrible grinding sound, and I was sure the engine was being ground up. The engine was still running, though. I reached over when I could and turned it off when I was out of the traffic and coasted to the side of the road. When I got off the bike, I was really expecting to find a puddle of oil under there and pieces laying around on the road, but I didn't. And actually, I couldn't determine what happened right away. I actually had to get down and look very close to see. Once I did, I immediately saw that one of the shocks, now under these bikes, just like on the big dog Softails, there's two shock absorbers that are horizontally mounted. In my case, and I think a big dog as well, they are progressive shocks. Actually, the shock number, it's called a 422 shock. Now, what happened to me can happen with any type of motorcycle shock, but these are the ones that happened to me, and I immediately saw that the back end, the end facing the rear wheel, had broken off, and I scraped up the shock that was broken on the ground. So that was really the noise that I thought was the engine being ground up, and the big noise, like shooting the pistol, that was the snapping of the bolt that holds the rear end of the shock onto the frame. So, needless to say, I felt extremely lucky that the other shock didn't give way, and who knows what would have happened then. I probably would have lost control of the bike. But the fact is that I still was in control, and I thought I was extremely lucky. So I wasn't that far from home, and I decided I'm just going to push the bike home. It was, I have the AAA insurance, which has towing, so I thought about that. But by the time, a tow truck came and everything else, get it on the truck and get it home, I thought it would be just as fast to push it, which I did. And then I examined it closer up and could definitely see the whole end of the shock. You can see that here was just missing the attachment point for it, and the bottom of the shock was really scraped up very bad. It's one of those things, you're on the highway, there's cars behind you, you just, you're not going to make an immediate stop unless you want to get killed. But anyway, I did do a search on Google for suspension shock bolts broken or suspension shock bolts shearing off, and I was surprised. I found a lot of motorcycle postings where this has happened. So it wasn't just me, and also it really had nothing to do, in my opinion, with the type of shock. Now, these are progressive shocks. They got a good reputation. But the bolt broke. When you buy a new set of these progressive motorcycle shocks, bolts are not included. That's something that the manufacturer puts on. So really this has nothing to do with the type of shock itself. It has to do with the bolt, and subsequently to that, when I brought it in to my motorcycle mechanic, Curtis, from Wild Steed Works, he's up in Valley Center, California, just a little north of San Diego, he came up with a theory of what happened. And I go along with his theory now, and also came up with a once a riding season inspection that may be able to avoid this problem from ever happening to you. Now, I'm going a little long on this video, so I'm putting together another video that's going to talk about what Curtis came up with and what was involved with changing the shocks out. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because YouTube will automatically notify you when I publish my next videos, and you can take a look at it. Be sure to visit our very popular motorcycle blog. It's San Diego Custom Motorcycles.info. And when you're there, mark it as one of your favorites. Also, be sure to get a subscription to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Hey, thanks for watching.